So next, we're going to jump into some ways to maintain your Cledara account so that you can really make sure that everything is up to date, which of course will allow you to keep that visibility and control over your software and spend at your company. So a really great way to do this is by using the Cledara Engage feature, which is our tool that will show the SaaS usage at your company. Engage is available on our Plus and our Pro plans. So without further ado, let's click on Engage and let's head over to the Providers tab. So once Cledara Engage has been deployed, the Providers tab will show us all of the software usage for all of the tools that have been added to Cledara. So we'll use Atlassian as an example if we click there. So we can see here, actually go back one quickly. So it's okay. You can see just at a glance right here exactly how much we spend on Atlassian annually. And then it'll show just at a glance how many people are using this tool who have access to it in the last 30 days. So if we click into it now, we can dig in a little further. So here we can see that many people at the company obviously have paid seats for this tool. And of those people who we pay for those seats, not all have actually used it in the last 30 days, which can indicate that this may not be a critical tool for them to have access to in order to really do their job. So a way that we can use this data in an everyday scenario is, let's say you have a new employee join your company, they're going to need an Atlassian license. So it may be a good idea to speak to someone like Dominic here. So we can see they haven't actually used this tool and ask if they actually need access to Atlassian for their role. If it turns out that they don't, you can actually just take away that license from Dominic and give it to the new employee so that you don't have to buy an additional license for the new person. Now from here, let's go over to our users tab under Engage. So this is where it's going to show us the usage for every tool that each person has access to at the company. So let's look at Bryn's usage here. We'll put her on the spot. So yep. Okay, click on Bryn, and then here we can see she has access to 11 tools, everything that she has access to for her job right now, and then what she's actually used in the past during her time at the company and how often she's used it all in the last 30 days. So looks like you may not use Calendly as much as you may want to, or maybe you use something else for that. So perhaps we don't need a seat for you there. Now lastly, under Engage, let's go to our Informal SaaS tab. That's the last one. So as a reminder, Informal SaaS is available on our Pro plans. And this is what's going to show you all of the usage for any software that you have not added to Cledara, but it's being used by the employees at your company. So Informal SaaS, or Shadow IT as it's called sometimes, can seem a little scary or daunting, but it's really just software that your employees are using to do their jobs better and more effectively. So the best way to tackle the information here, if you hit the provider column, this is going to allow us to sort by providers. And then from here, we can see exactly who is using what and when it was used. So the best way to kind of categorize the data and formulate a plan to move forward here is by breaking it into 3 different kind of situations. So first, there may be some applications here that are free that your company uses. So really easy what you can do, let's say 3CX is a free application and you want to add this to Cledara. There's an arrow next to action that's going to allow you to add this right in Cledara. So if we click add application, perfect. You can actually mark this as a free service. So you're not going to have any budget allocated for this tool, but this is going to be listed under your providers. And this way you can really have your full list of software that's being used at your company, whether it's paid or free. Next, we'll go back to the Informal SaaS tab. Perfect. And then it's still sorted how we had it. From here, you may also recognize some paid software that your company uses. So after you get your account set up, it's easy to sometimes forget to add every single thing to Cledara. So to ensure that you have all of this added, same thing as we did before, you can hit that little arrow for Airtable and add the application. And from here, you're going to be prompted to actually enter the teams that are using it, what the reason is, and the budget for this tool. And then you can select allocations, all that good stuff that you would enter in as you're setting up your account. So with those 2 things we just did, this should allow you to make sure that you have all of the software that's used at your company in Cledara, so you have that full visibility. Now, there's a third category here of data that we might have engaged. So if we go back to informal SaaS, there may be some software here that you see that you didn't know is being used by your company, which is okay. Again, this is really just used by people there to really do their jobs effectively. So we recommend that if the situation comes up, just reach out to the users that you see are using these tools that you weren't aware of. Ask what they're using it for, and then see if you do want to get on a contract, whether it's a free tool or paid. An important part of going through this data and staying on top of informal SaaS is every software that's used can open you up to a security breach. So really knowing what your employees are using is really important. Informal SaaS can really help you to stay on top of all of that. So there's obviously a lot of data that lives here in Engage in these three tabs. So if you have engaged in informal SaaS on your Cledara plan and you're curious about the data and really want to talk through that and dig in with your success manager, I recommend reaching out. We'd be happy to do a one-on-one walkthrough with you and help you formulate a plan.